Bethany is an entrepreneur and a managing partner at Premium Law Group with the primary focus on real estate syndications and funds. And I'm like super excited and thrilled to hear about her experience with the funds and the security law. So welcome, Bethany. Super excited to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. It's very rare to hear someone say they're so excited to hear from the securities lawyer. So I think that it was very kind of you. I appreciate that. And thanks so much for having me. As you mentioned, I've been doing this for quite a long time, and I have been able to analyze and advise on hundreds of real estate investments, providing SEC compliance, but also deal structure. And so I help people practice safe SEC. Or if they don't really want to be in the world of the SEC, then I help them figure out how to abstain appropriately. My unique superpower, it's facilitating both passive and active investors and creating conscious wealth. That's going to be through education. It's going to be through access to opportunities, and it's going to be through strategic mindset shifts. Those are the only three elements that exist to creating conscious wealth. And if you have the appropriate mindset, you'll find that you've got the education and the access to opportunities all around you that you need to create that conscious wealth. This is a perfect example of that, the education that you all are providing. So thank you so much for putting this together for the community. Really appreciate you helping elevate the education levels of the community.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm everyone's really lucky to have access to this, because that's one big step towards creating conscious wealth. In addition to providing legal compliance, so my clients, when they come to me, they usually already know that they want to raise money. And I think most of the people that are here because either they've already been raising money or they want to start raising money, usually to scale their business. I think most people agree that the best way to scale a business is to start to use OPM, other people's money. And I would argue that really the best way to scale any business, specifically in this case, real estate investing businesses, is actually to leverage OPE, other people's everything. And what that means is you find out what is your unique superpower. What is it that you're really, really good at, but also what really lights you up? What is the reason you jump out of bed every morning and say, I get to do this today, right? What is that thing? And as entrepreneurs, sometimes we're like, yeah, that's really sweet, Bethany, that you say we should do that. But I'm an entrepreneur. I got to roll up my sleeves and I got to do all the things, right? And maybe at first that's true, so that you know all the things that go into your business. But I have really good news for everybody, and that's going to be rare again that a lawyer gets to tell you good news. And the good news is that if you figure out what you're amazing at and you figure out what lights you up, that's your lane. Staying in your lane not only feels good, it's actually safer legally. It's safer. It's safer because you're now doing things that you're good at, and you're then bringing other people, your OPs, in to do all the things that they're good at. You're a lot less likely to get into any kind of trouble, even inadvertently, right, than if you're doing the things that you're amazing at, or things that you're not amazing at, rather. So pick your lane and then stay in it. And for everything else, literally everything else, find your OPs. You can leverage my experience, OPE. You can leverage other people's money, OPM, other people's networks. You're all here today leveraging someone else's network, someone else's opportunities, education, all the things. So where I come in, my lane is helping you practice safe SEC. So if you decide that you want to expand or scale to take other people's money, you have to understand that you're selling securities, and selling securities is not like selling anything else. We're not selling gym memberships here where you just like sell it and hope people forget about you and just keep paying over and over and over. We're not selling, websites or domains, or, we're selling something that is really highly regulated. And it's regulated by the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission. And that is this big, scary regulatory body that exists for the purpose of protecting investors from us. Like, why would they do that? We're good people, right? We want to take care of people, most of us, right? If you're here, you probably do. You want to take care of people. It's not that different than you look at the IRS, right? The IRS has boatloads of regulations that you have to follow. And if you mess up, you could go to jail, right? Or at least owe a bunch of money, but you could go to jail. Same thing with the SEC. If you're running your own business and you're here, you're probably not on TurboTax doing your own tax preparation, right? You're relying on other professionals to help you. And I would ask you that when you're raising money, you do the same thing. You rely on professionals to help you, because it is maybe scary to someone who it's not their lane, but it's my lane. And so I can help guide you. And so what I want to do is give you, first of all, like what even is a syndication? What is selling securities? So you know what you're getting yourself into. And also, if you don't want to do that, how not to accidentally sell securities. And frankly, that's most of the world, right? Most of the world is not going to be a syndicator. You all are different. You're probably in the 1-2% of people that are actually going to use this opportunity to scale. But you should at least know and do it intentionally. I said I help people create conscious wealth. Conscious means mindful, intentional, doing things on purpose. And that is the way you're going to get the most meaning out of it. But also, again, it's the safest way to do it. So what even is real estate syndication? It's very simplest form. It's two real estate investors in this case, right? They partner together to acquire real estate. Could be any asset class, right? It could be apartments, could be boutique hotels. That's the one I love currently. Mobile home parks, self-storage, doesn't matter. Single family. It doesn't matter the asset class. Any kind of real estate. Those two types of investors are going to be active investors. That's probably all of you on here, right? You're going to do all the work. You're going to do the diligence. You're going to manage. You're going to find the property. And for that, you're going to take a fee and what we call carried interest or a promote or GP interest. You can call it whatever you want. The other kind of real estate investors are probably the ones you're all looking for, which is passive investors. If you're looking for passive investors, meaning you want their money and you're saying, hey, give me your money. I'm going to do all the work and you just hang out and I'm going to start sending you money. That's the hope, right? You're going to get mailbox money. You're passive. You've sold a security. If you accept passive money, meaning they're waiting on your efforts to generate a return for them, you've sold a security. It doesn't matter if you call it a note. Actually, note is the very first word in the definition of security, actually. If you call it a joint venture, you don't get to decide just based on what you label it, whether or not it's a security. The law decides that for you, right? And so the rule is, again, if they're passive and they're relying on your efforts to generate a